it going, everybody? Welcome to Synergy Nation Network's very first Holy shit. Zach with the famous timing.
Anyway, turn down your phone.
Somebody's
we got some echo going
Run
on.
down the stairs as I'm making introductions, and we just what's up?
Bork.
All right, everybody. This is Synergy Nation Network. If you're not familiar with us, we're a very brand spanking new podcast network in the Midwest.
Somebody's phone is up.
Josh, I think we're getting feedback from you.
Somebody's phone is broadcasting.
Yeah, somebody's really loud.
We might have to restart.
That's better.
No, I'm not going to restart the speech.
I think it might have been Josh. Go ahead, Mike.
Anyway, Synergy Nation Network is a really new podcast network in the Midwest, comprised of a couple different shows. Just to make general introductions, I'm Mikey. And who are you?
But you're not going to introduce me?
No, you get to do it yourself. You came in late.
I'm Zach.
And we're from the Weekly Geekly. We're a couple different pieces of the show. I'll let everyone else kind of make their introductions in this weird Happy Days square thing we got going on. Good to see you guys. Why don't you say hi to everybody, tell them who you are.
Okay, well, I'm Bill. I'm part of the Galactic Driftwood podcast, and we focus on developments in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And discussions range from everything you can think of up to the COVID-19 virus. So check it out. We're at galacticdriftwood.space if you're looking for our website. We're also on YouTube. You can check out the video of all of our podcasts. And then we also upload the audio to Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, all the popular places. So,
all right.
Seth?
Yeah, I'm Seth. I'm also with Galactic Driftwood, just one of the many hosts who shows up. Charles?
Yeah, I'm Charles, also with Galactic Driftwood.
I'm also with
Yeah, I don't know if there's. They let me come to the show. I don't know.
Here for the fun.
Yep. John?
I'm John. I'm also with Galactic Driftwood, otherwise known as the Voice of Doom.
And he is that.
Our group's Doomsayer.
Yes.
Someone's got to do it.
Right. Josh?
Yeah, my name is Josh with Running Up the Tab podcast from Omaha here. Kind of themed around the idea of like bar talk and everything in between that. So pretty broad genre there, but we get guests on often and, answer viewer questions as well. So you can find us on basically everything, Spotify, Apple Music, or everything along those lines, SoundCloud, and then Anchor as well.
Oh.
And last but not least.
Yep. Benito.
Hey, everybody. I'm Benito Garcia from Go RPGs. And, we are doing all kinds of fun stuff, promoting and helping to bring awareness to role-playing games here in Omaha and the area. Actually, the whole United States. We thought it was going to be small here just in Omaha, and it just blew up. So we're doing our best to represent role-playing games.
Hell yeah. We just got done playing One Shot last night. Benito
so fun.
Murdered some werewolves. It was great.
Super fun.
Yeah. Kind of disappointing for the person that kind of wanted more people to die as the DM. I'm like, you made it.
Yeah, that was definitely an example of things don't ever go quite like you think they're going to.
Oh, yeah.
Being the game master.
I think the story changed like 7 times, and there was like 3 things I implemented that never even got brought up. I was like, damn it. That's the way the cookie crumbles. It's random, so.
So fun.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
So I guess we should probably just let people know so we're all members, obviously, as Mikey said, of the Synergy Nation Network, a group of different podcasters. And we thought, we've been talking about getting together as a group for a long time, kind of share ideas and thoughts about what we do and how to increase our visibility and stuff. And then, of course, the COVID-19 virus came along. And that kind of put a crimp in all of our plans. So we started talking about maybe ways that we could still kind of get together and do something. And we just came across Zoom. So we got together last weekend for a informal Zoom meeting, sort of a test session. We had a nice discussion. I don't know, went on for quite a while, I guess. And then we thought, what if we did a session that we live streamed out, sort of a podcast of podcasts, or a supercast, as we like to call it, and just kind of chatted about stuff that's going on locally in our communities with COVID-19, and maybe what we can do to support the nerd community while we're in this lockdown, and ways that we can continue to keep the community going and share stuff maybe through Zoom sessions like this. So what are you guys thinking?
I am so sad. I'm so sad with the whole thing, to be honest. It feels like half the stuff you like in nerd culture is about gatherings. It's about, artist meetups, jams, D&D games, stuff like that. And it's hard to get those together anymore, or people want to do them. Last night was a godsend because I had not gotten out of my house for anything but groceries in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I think that took a lot of pressure off me. That's the DM. I was like, it's going to be fun no matter what. But I miss, meeting up at comic book shops with people, or watching other people play at shops and events. And I think the one thing we never predicted was that this was going to take out the whole year's con schedule. Like,
right.
There are no Comic-Cons anymore. Like, they're all postponed, canceled. And that's a huge blow to our community.
Yeah.
Cons like Constellation in Lincoln are huge with just they've got a really tight-knit community, and that's like the only time of year some of these people get to see each other.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And there are charities they support that are going to be hit, and the cons themselves, thankfully, it sounds like they're able to get out. A lot of them are able to get out of their contracts, so this isn't gonna end them, but it can be good for them to have to miss a whole year.
Well, it's just going to be interesting to see how people use the time. Businesses right now are completely looking at how they do business. This has forced a lot of smaller businesses, and also, not giant corporations, to be, okay, well, if we can operate differently, then what's to say we don't just keep changing our method anyway, after the fact.
Bars are now selling, the bars that were not able to sell packaged liquor before all of this are now selling bottles of their cocktails, of their mixed drinks and stuff. So you can still have a signature experience or whatever. Drive-through liquor sales has just been opened up, mm-hmm. which all of those things horrible. Are not, all of those things are not groundbreaking. Other states have been doing them for decades.
Yeah. But it's crazy to see it happen in Nebraska too.
Yeah.
I never would have thought I'd be able to go get a mixed drink and drive away with it.
Right. And look at all the businesses that are changing. I mean, I got a call the other day that we had ordered a couple of bags of dog food because we have a couple of large Labradors. So we usually get a couple bags at a time. So the store called us on Friday to say that it was in. And then we usually just go by and pick it up whenever. Well, when they called, they said it was in, and they said we can either bring it out to your car when you pull up, or we can also deliver it right to your house. And I'm like, wow, I never even thought about that. So right. I said, well, I'll come by and get it, and we'll just do curbside pickup. So it's kind of interesting the way different businesses are trying to adapt to the situation and try to work within the requirements and also keep people safe. So it's good to see that so many people are taking it seriously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Most of the game shops in the Omaha area are now offering curbside delivery and order over phone. So I know you can get that at the Geek Room down at about 180th and Pacific. The Game Shop is offering that. Spielbound is also offering that, and Midtown Crossing.
Krypton and Legends are too, I believe.
Yep. Legends, you can just they'll give it to you through the drive-through.
Yeah, you can get your coffee there too.
Yeah, get a coffee, and let's see. Spielbound also has takeout coffee available and takeout drinks.
Yeah, that's awesome. Who would have thought, man?
Yeah. Who's all still working?
Working from home.
Yeah, working from home.
Just got a job at a grocery store waiting to start. So.
We have to, being a dental tech, obviously we're essential, but there had been a report that had gone out, or not a report, more of a guidelines and rules set up by the American Dental Association. And it was really the only work that we're supposed to be getting, or dentists are supposed to be doing, is emergency stuff, obviously. No elective surgeries, no things that are dealing with cosmetic. But the doctors have a lot of them closed down just by pressure from their staff. But a lot of doctors, I'm surprised, are still open, and they're just calling everything an emergency because, but based on dental, if all the doctor has to do is say, this person's crown that they need is impeding them from eating whatever, getting nutrients and being healthy. And so a lot of doctors are trying to fly under the radar, and they're just slipping everything through. It's just crazy.
You think they're going to get away with that in the long run? No one's going to be like, 2 months later, be like, this wasn't really an emergency, and like give them a penalty.
Maybe, but who's going to check that?
Right.
I didn't know if there were people like fact checking dental records or not.
I don't know that. I don't know that end of it. It's possible, but it's just crazy how much work still is coming in. We're down to a skeleton crew, and it's really hard to do that work.
Yeah,
such a limited amount of people. But
are there any penalties right now? Anyway, like, isn't it mostly just recommendations with no penalties attached?
In the dental field or in general? Because I know some places the American Dental Association has cracked down hard.
But are you
and actually contacted them and told them to knock it off?
Are people sneaking in just for teeth cleanings, or
that is also still considered?
I can see having the crown, because I've lost a crown before, and I've lost crowns plural. And sometimes you don't care, and sometimes you really do.
I wish I had my sheet still. I don't have it, but I do believe that that hygiene is or cleaning is still considered something that's okay.
I saw on the news today, this morning, they were talking about the counties in Nebraska that were locked down, which is like, or not really locked down, but hair salons and things are supposed to be closed. They got selective businesses that are ordered shut. And they said they were talking to some salons in surrounding communities. And they said what's happening is that people that want to get their hair done, because the salons are closed in Douglas County, they're just going to neighboring counties and scheduling an appointment and going there. So, I mean, what?
And that's how coronavirus spreads.
Exactly. So, I mean, people are going to find a way around restrictions if you don't make the restrictions blanket a big enough area.
Yeah.
And I don't think
also put some teeth on them.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get there, I think, here as things are closing in on us.
Sure.
I mean, we'll get there.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those maps where you do click on the animation of the spread, and you can watch. They've got like a worst case scenario, voluntary isolation, and then mandatory isolation. And you watch the one with no compliance of any sort, and you just see the map start on the outside, just turning dark red and just converging in right on Nebraska.
No!
It's like, oh man, we're getting started early with this, but we're going to be like the ones dealing with it at the very end.
At the end,
yeah. If you've been listening to some of the stories, there have been lots of people who have been getting out of New York and Los Angeles, anywhere where they aren't locked down and the infection is spreading. So they're leaving those infection centers and they're bringing it in country.
Yeah.
Well, and I wonder how many are bringing it back from the spring break where everybody was at the beaches and just...
that we won't know. We won't know the consequences of that for another week or two yet.
Yeah. Right.
That was so dumb.
Yeah.
I'm like so pissed for those people. Like,
yeah.
Well, look at what's happening in New Orleans just now because of the fact that they had Mardi Gras back in February.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to break big time there. So Yeah, it's a scary time for sure.
Yeah, that's the problem with the long incubation time, is that you think you're healthy and you might just be going around doing your thing, spreading it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know you have it.
So you're telling me there's like a 2-week lag on this shit? Like,
could be.
I don't like that.
Days, yeah.
The incubation
is cool and dandy, and then in 2 weeks, like half your friggin' city has it, and you're, I don't like that. Why am I getting a job?
It's like a exponential growth curve. If you look at the graphs, like of New York City and other cities, and then there was a video posted on YouTube. What was it, Thursday or Friday? A doctor in Madrid, just emotional as hell because they're out of ventilators and they need them. And what they're doing is they're taking ventilators from patients that are over 65 years of age and giving them to younger patients that have a better chance of survival. The older patients then are just being given sedatives and just allowed to pass because they have no way to help them. So
that's horrible.
Yeah, it's very horrible. And you have to think about, it sort of makes you think about the PTSD and trauma that the medical workers are going to go through, because their whole lives are spent with the thought that you do not abandon a patient as long as there's any hope. And here they are having to forcibly take away this life-saving technology to give it to somebody else that maybe has a better chance. And that's got to be really hard on those people. I mean, you could see it from this doctor's face, and I mean, he was very emotional about the whole thing, and it is a very emotional thing.
Anytime you're dealing with triage is just heartbreaking when it just doesn't make sense when you're standing there when someone's critically injured and you need to get them fixed, but there's somebody over here who's less injured. Or more, maybe there's 5 less injured people and 1 critical. You have to save those 5 and leave that critical to go.
Right.
Triage is tough.
It is. It is hard. I would not, for the life of me, want to be a battlefield physician at all, because
it should sound more intense. Triage sounds too nice.
You mean?
It's too clinical. It's too sweet. It should reflect what it actually is, which is basically choosing who gets to live.
Yeah, you're right.
What word would you pick for it, John?
I don't know. Something German. German words just sound harsh. It's just like Nachensturd. Or it's just something. But,
Can you guys see the screen that I shared?
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Yeah. I've just been following the Bing one, but I like this one.
I think the hospital ships, the Navy hospital ships, are, if they're not already in place off the East and West Coast, they're getting there. And we'll see, man. We'll see how those doctors, the doctors who've been dealing with like battlefield medicine for the last decade.
Yeah, the only thing about that, though, is what my understanding was, that those hospital ships are going to come in and they're going to be just transferring patients from the hospital that don't have COVID to the hospital ships to free up beds in the hospitals for patients with COVID-19. So the hospital ships won't be used. They won't be seeing that same kind of triage. That was my understanding, and I don't know if anybody has any more on that. But
I hope that there's a really deep exchange of skills and ideas between like civilian doctors and military doctors, because Lord knows that both sides could use the benefits of the other.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, if you look at that screenshot that Seth is sharing, you can see that exponential curve down there on the graph in the lower right corner. You can see how that thing's just skyrocketing.
Immediately in March. Yeah.
Yeah.
It lets us know we're on the very beginning of the first wave, pretty much.
Right. Well, and that doctor
keep going out in multiple waves, and that's why it's going to be extended out later than we initially thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Dr. Anthony Fauci was on today, and he said that what they're seeing now, their forecasts are telling them that there could be 1 million people in the United States infected, or more, and at a 1% rate of fatality, you'd have 100,000 deaths in the United States. So that's
100,000 is what he predicted.
Yeah. And it's just going to get worse as hospitals are overwhelmed. That's 1%, assuming you get good treatment with ventilators.
What is Omaha's total count now?
We're close to 1 million population.
No, I meant
Yeah, I think like 180 cases.
Oh, you mean talk about infections?
We were pushing 100 by just Douglas County was pushing 100 by the end of the week. So we probably just peaked right over it. Would be my guess.
Hey, Seth.
I haven't checked today.
On that page that you're sharing down there, see where it says on the left-hand side under total confirmed, where it's got the U.S. Then very down at the bottom, you've got admin 0 as a tab.
Yeah.
Tab. And then see admin 1. Click on admin 1. Now you can go down and find the state, and click on our state, and then go to admin 2, and it shows the county.
Okay.
There's Nebraska. Just passed it.
Just passed it.
There it is.
108 confirmed.
2, and now you should be able to find Douglas County.
Douglas County at 57 confirmed. 108 in Nebraska.
The 108 was the whole state. Okay.
Yeah.
But more than, or about half that is just in Douglas County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
How long do you think till everything gets shut down?
I get a week or two.
I think it won't be a matter of case count. I think it'll be a matter of we'll start lifting things and people will start going back because we'll see like a dip and they'll be like, okay, we can kind of go back to normal.
Yeah.
And then the second wave will hit and people will overreact even harsh. Like if you thought there was any overreaction at all this time, people will multiply that, the second wave. Because they'll be like, "Oh God, it's back."
Yeah, I
so
think
number 2, and there's a subtitle.
I think you're right, Zach. I think what'll happen is because everything's happening big on the coast right now, New York and L.A. I think they'll eventually get over the hump and start on the downhill side, and the media will be publicizing that fact so much that everybody will think it's getting to be safe to go back out again, and then that'll just further bring it in towards the center of the country.
I think we'll get shelter in place once many more of our healthcare institutions are overwhelmed, like what happened in Italy. Is still happening in Italy,
right?
And in Spain.
Well, are they telling people in Italy not to bother coming in? I mean,
as far as I knew, Italy was completely locked down.
I presume. Well, I'm an asthmatic, so I have presumed that if I catch this, I'm dying at home. I mean, that's just if that's where it goes.
I mean, dark, but
I'm not going into a hospital for them to turn me down.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if I catch it this week, then I'm lucky. But
hey, Seth, you want to stop sharing that screen? We can welcome Louie into the chat here. Hey Louie, welcome. If you want to unmute and just kind of introduce yourself and tell the listeners which podcast group you're with and a little bit about yourself, that'd be great.
I am. Can you hear me? Hear me?
Yeah,
all right?
We can hear you now.
I am Louis Cavallari. I am one of the hosts of Running Up the Tab. So it's one of the new shows that that just joined the network. So I'm also here with Josh is on here too. I'm sure he's already said hello.
Yep.
So.
Okay. Well, welcome. Glad you could make it.
And for anybody curious, I'll just throw.
I'm here.
Nice.
I'm glad you made it, man. I didn't think you were gonna make it. For anyone that is curious, you can find any of these lovely shows on our network website, which is synnation.net, synnation.net, and you can find all these lovely guys there. All of our blog spots, any articles we like, stuff like that. We're constantly adding to everyone's pages and updating stuff, but we do have comment sections there as well. So if you like any of the shows you're listening to, leave them a message, and they'll be happy to bring it up for you. So.
And if you don't like them, try not to be brutal.
We've had a couple brutal people towards Josh. I don't know what you did to somebody.
Yeah, just woke up and like 4 messages targeted at me, man. That's crazy.
That happens.
That was good. Good stuff.
Here, I'll throw the page up real quick.
Okay.
Ooh,
cool.
While we're talking.
Thanks.
Well, I'll try to. I don't remember how to do
that. There's a share screen at the bottom in the center.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Turn this show into a watch party on Jant.
Saw that.
I want to see what that's all about. Never ran a watch party before. See what happens.
Maybe everybody just shows up with a Timex or a Bulova.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was bad, Bill. You should. That was really bad. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not. I'm proud, actually.
Yo,
you should.
Ben,
you should not be.
Page. I want to see your page, Ben. It's beautiful.
Hold on a second. On which one?
The Go page.
All right. Let me see what happens.
It goes to the Go page, hopefully.
Oh, yeah. This is pretty good.
I love it. Yeah, we got the new crawl crossover from the Galactic crew and Benito and Go RPGs.
That was a really fun game.
Yeah, it was super fun.
It was really fun. A couple live shows we did. That was from last year at Ocon. That was fun.
I'm really hoping that tabletop games and like other pseudo pen and paper style games take off even more than they have been in the last couple of years with this.
Yeah, the quarantine's forcing people inside, so they need imagination. Dude, when we played last night, I felt so good because I was using my imagination, and like I felt like I haven't done that for 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
It's nice to be able to use it for something other than imagining how COVID-19 is going to take you out.
Exactly. Distract your brain a little bit, And for that, Sin Nation Network is there for you. So let us distract your brain. Go to sinnation.net. Leave us some awesome mail. Check out all the different shows we got. We're constantly going to be changing this website. And look forward to more shows in the future. This thing's going to grow much like a virus.
Ooh. Hey, let's go around the horn and see how everybody's coping and what they've been doing while they're at home.
All right.
Bill?
Okay, well, I'll start then. So we've been doing Zoom meetings with different groups. So we did one last Saturday evening on our Galactic Driftwood page. So it was kind of a opportunity for people to get together and talk about whatever science fiction or just whatever is going on in their lives. And that was pretty popular. So we're going to try to do that again. I think, Seth, didn't you say you wanted to try that again tonight?
Tonight or whenever. These Zoom meetings are what is kind of keeping me sane right now.
My dance card is like totally empty these days, man. It's like whatever, whenever.
Yeah, so we could schedule another one. I think Seth was. We were chatting today about it. And we had it last Saturday, and we had talked about doing more of those, but we hadn't really set a date. So Seth was thinking that we were going to do them every Saturday. And so last night he's like, "Where is everybody? where's the thing?"
That's what I thought we decided, is that we were doing these weekly.
I didn't get that. So anyway, we didn't. So I thought, well, we could do it tonight because, I mean, after all, what else are we doing? But we can start doing them every Saturday. Give some folks advance notice would be nice.
Yeah, I can't do it tonight because I've got one of my gaming groups. We play Terraria every Sunday.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll just schedule it for next Saturday night. That way it'll give people some advance notice, and it's always more fun the more people you have on these things. So, we'll do that. But we've been doing Zoom sessions. We did done a couple with our steampunk group that we're in, and of course with this group. And
really? You're in a steampunk group? Hold up. You're in a steampunk group?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there's
why did I not know this? I want to be in a steampunk group. Invite me.
It's the Steampunk Society of Nebraska, and they're on Facebook, and they also have a meetup page, and they have we have 4 big get-togethers every year. There's like a winter ball that we do. There's a Valentine's social in the fall. Let's see, in the summer we usually do the zoo. There's like a zoo safari thing, so everybody dresses up in pith helmets and safari outfits and goes to the zoo, which is fun. And then we do
start working on an outfit then, because
and then we do a military ball. Yeah, there's the website. Thanks, John.
I love that.
And then in the fall we do a military ball, and everybody dresses up in their steampunk military regalia, and we do different things. And then aside from that, we also have, monthly get-togethers where we'll just go out and maybe go down to the old market, dress up and do photo shoots or something. So
cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun
Scare
group.
all the muggles.
Yeah. So so we're doing that. Other than that, been mostly getting housework done. Got a lot of yard work done. Got the basement furnace room and my workshop cleaned up this past week. So I also figured out how to. So for work, my work chat tool of choice is Skype. And so we do video Skype sessions for meetings and things like that. And so as I'm playing with this green screen stuff and playing with this on Zoom, I thought, you know what, this would be really awesome to use for work, for Skype. And so I started looking at that. Well, Skype doesn't do it, but there is a free software tool out there called vMix. And if you download vMix and install it, vMix creates an output that makes it look like it's another video camera that Skype can choose as an input. So vMix will do the green screening. So basically you send your camera input to vMix, set up your green screen in vMix, and then it exports an output that looks like a video camera to Skype. And then you just tell Skype to use the vMix input as the video camera, and suddenly you're in a green screen world. So I attended a meeting the other day from the Bridge of the Enterprise, and everybody on the call was like, what in the hell? How did you do that?
I know we talked about this on our last podcast, but there was a guy, like a 7th grade math teacher, who did a mathematics class, like simple angles, like right angles, complementary angles, that kind of stuff. But he did it in Half-Life Alyx. So like everybody, he begins the class like standing on a balcony, and he's talking. He's like, "Welcome to my house, everybody." Like, as you can tell, it's in an older part of town, and he's like panning. He's like looking around, and there's there's nobody in the streets because that city in that game is under lockdown, and there's like Combine soldiers walking by. And he's like, "As you can see, we're in the middle of a quarantine, so no one's really out."
That's awesome.
And he walks over to this part of like a porch that's got like these glass windows, and he grabs like a marker. You can see like the VR hands like grab a marker, and he just starts writing like a whiteboard and just doing the class.
And he does a whole math class in a fucking video game.
yeah. There's like Combine helicopters flying in the distance. Yeah.
See, so there's a challenge for you, John, because John's a teacher as well. So he's been using Zoom for his classes. So there you go, John. You can put yourself in a virtual environment, video game environment, and do your class there.
I could. I got my green screen. Finally.
Yeah, how's that working?
I haven't taken it out of the box yet because I realized something.
It's working great so far.
I have the coolest fucking apartment ever.
Yeah, you do have pretty nice.
Surrounded by nerd shit all the time.
So why would you want to hide that? Yeah.
So now you don't have any place to put a green screen, do you?
Well, I can, but I mean, what illusion could take the place of this reality? I mean, really.
I like Josh's plant.
I mean,
very tasteful.
It's like between two ferns. The Zach Galifianakis. You get another one on the other side, and it can just be your thing. You know what I mean? Like, bring them with you everywhere you go. Did he freeze?
I think he's frozen.
Right now, it looks like he's staring at me. It's like he's really mad. He's just like wildly.
Oh no!
We just lost him.
He's gone.
Maybe that's not the face I want to be frozen with, though.
I don't think he liked your suggestion, Mikey.
Yeah.
Well,
made him mad and he left.
My best friend during this whole thing has been this little guy.
Yeah.
I'm going through Zelda Breath of the Wild again, and that's keeping me pretty sane. I like exploring that.
Those are apparently crazy hard to get a hold of right now.
Oh yeah, they sold out fast, and I think with good reason. There are some really good games on there that are great for when you've got an enforced isolation and can't really interact with anyone.
So, Charles, what have you been up to entertain yourself while you've been trapped at home?
I haven't minded it so much yet. Luckily or unluckily, I seem to have had a surge in my workload. I think everybody else panicked and sent me projects,
So, Charles, you should let everybody know. So, you're an engineer.
Yeah, I'm an engineer. I design substation and transmission structures.
Yeah.
So for electrical lines.
Now,
he's been known to do like interstate stuff, but don't drive on his roads.
Yeah. I like giving people the bridge tours sometimes.
Yeah. Now, Charles,
we're driving on a bridge, and Charles was like, "I was part of designing this bridge. It's like I wouldn't drive on it." Like, yeah,
you did the lighting part of the bridge, right, Charles?
No, I had some structures go over the bridge. Is really what it is. So I drive under the bridge.
Yeah. Now, if you were contracted to design like an internment facility for people with contagion, you'd let us know that, wouldn't you?
I'll let you
know. It's like, well, okay, Bill.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering, sooner or later, they're going to come out with
someone wanted you to
vaccine.
Design a concentration camp, Charles. How would you go about doing that?
Yeah, sooner or later, they're going to come out with a vaccine, and they're rushing this thing. And this is how every zombie movie gets started. So at some point, these people that are infected with the antidote are going to have to be put into internment camps. And I think Charles is going to be asked to help design those.
It could happen. I come from a line of engineers. I've got relatives that have designed prisons.
So if you design them, can you give me enough foot room on my bunk? Can you make it?
Yeah, I'm one of those people too.
Bunks are never long enough, man. I'm always hanging my feet off the edge. The last internment camp I was in, at least.
That would suck.
Yeah.
How tall are you, Mikey?
5'11", not too tall, but just tall enough to get that awkward, not enough feet room.
Yeah, that's awful.
Just a little guy.
I like your background, Benito.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
That's how I've been surviving the quarantine.
You watched all of it?
These two guys right here.
God, it's so it's funny how it's called Tiger King, but the show doesn't even end up being about the tigers anymore. It just slowly becomes about this feud between panhandle rednecks and Oklahoma meth heads.
And it's so good.
It's addicting, man.
I've only seen the first episode so far, and it just seems like everyone in the show is crazy.
Oh yeah, just jump in.
So everybody, what's your over under Carol Baskin's fed her husband to tigers?
Oh yeah,
totally. Yeah.
I think she had him off, but I don't know that she fed him to the tigers. But she definitely had something to do with his death for sure. 100%. Oh, look, poor Seth hasn't watched but episode 1. We should probably.
Here's the thing.
Spoiler warning.
That's the tamest. You're watching that and you're like, oh wow, this is wild.
See, we probably made it better for you by telling you that.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah.
I had not even thought about that until now as body disposal with all of these tigers. Oh my God.
It'd be perfect. Who's going to check tiger shit?
Literally all you have to do is get rid of his clothes and they just eat. It sounds like they just eat everything. Their digestive system is so acidic that it just takes the bones down to nothing too.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, there are people that do check tiger crap because there's that whole coffee, that Kopi Luwak, right, that they harvest the coffee beans from the scat of the civet cat in South America, and then they use that to create this super expensive coffee.
Mm-hmm. Fucking rich people, man. I don't get it.
It's very weird. I don't know. How would you ever even think to do that? You come across a bunch of poo and you see these dried up, leftover, partially digested beans, and you think, oh, I bet that'd make a good drink.
Right.
Well, if you haven't had your cup of coffee,
maybe
that's a lot of food, though.
Better.
Well, yeah, in all reality, potatoes are poisonous. So at some point, someone had to be hungry enough to think, well, what if I boil this? If I boil this, will it not be poisonous anymore?
Wait, we're not supposed to eat raw potatoes?
Yeah. You're not. They're mildly poisonous.
Shit.
Your face looks kind of worried.
John, where have you been my whole life?
Have you been eating raw potatoes?
I'm not going to answer that right now.
I've ate raw
I was a
potatoes.
kid.
I mean, kids eat all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah, that's true. I got in trouble for eating stuff.
There's like, man, I wish Matt was here.
Yeah.
He'd be able to. There's like a history of humans, like when we were still like smacking rocks together to get fire, we were figuring out how to process foods for them not to kill us.
We'll probably find out in 6 months that Mikey's completely immune to COVID-19 because he ate raw potatoes as a kid.
Yep.
Like how crazy must the first person who ate the curdled milk that is cheese? How crazy were they?
It's not crazy. It's hungry.
It's fine.
How hungry were they? They were that hungry.
This is fine.
They were so poor that that's all they had.
Well, it predates economy. It's literally there's nothing else to eat. They're hungry. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why not?
Think about it.
Let's eat this.
And you've got like cultures that eat mushrooms, right? And mushrooms you look around, if you see mushrooms in the wild, you're like, oh, it's growing off of dead stuff. Should I eat that? And even if you say yes, half of those mushrooms kill you anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So they continue.
I mean, there was a definite weeding out process that happened as part of figuring out what mushrooms you can and can't eat, and what mushrooms make you just see wonderful things.
A cultural progression of like, well, we eat things like mushrooms and algae and moss, and this mold seems to be fine. This like curdled milk.
Well, that's just
probably why for so
And
long
like,
the population increase line was level. And
They
then
all
as soon
just
as everybody
figured it out.
figured out what was edible, then we start going with that.
It also could be, but by the time this is over, there'll be some new back of the fridge foods discovered.
Yeah.
Gross.
the raw potato challenge is coming. I see.
Yeah, or the curdled lettuce.
Only those with the most refined palate will enjoy it.
This is 3-month-old Gouda cheese on a Dorito infused croissant.
You know, thinking about eating a raw potato, is there a flavor to that? Is there actually any flavor whatsoever?
Tastes like potato.
Tastes like
Well, it's not even potato flavor, because most of the potato flavor that you associate with potatoes comes from the cooking process and the seasoning process. But a raw potato,
the skin has its own flavor. I'll tell you that.
All right.
It's just like you're eating
Dirt.
chunky stuff.
I mean, it's tubers. It's like any other root.
It's not a bad consistency to just chew on a potato. Go for it. Right
Yeah.
now. Go grab a potato, and by the end of this,
No.
eat it.
we have to at least tell our viewers not to do that, because that's a
I
bad
don't
idea.
tell them what to do at all. They can make their own choices.
They already know it's poisonous.
Hopefully,
potentially, so-
people that are on this show right now watching are not like doing Tide Pod shit early. Please don't hurt your body for the challenge or cinnamon.
Well,
The type
Well,
of
I
challenge would
remember-
just give us fewer viewers.
I mean, potatoes, if they're salted, if raw potatoes salted are pretty good.
Yeah,
But I've also just realized that my mother was trying to kill me.
it's all.
Thanks for that, John.
One less mouth, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we got someone in the background. I just saw
Who was
someone
that?
walk by, Seth. Who is that?
Mikey, we should tell these guys how we broke
I don't
the rule
know.
yesterday.
There are 3 cats who that could have been.
What rules, Benito?
So, we broke it's not, we should be home containing ourselves on lockdown, but we sort of didn't yesterday. We kept it under a group of 10.
Yeah.
10 or less.
Well, Mikey's immune because of the potatoes.
And I ate them too, so that's that,
Yeah.
I've been going to the gym every day. What's this lockdown stuff, man?
right? Anyway, we had set, when Mikey first talked about the cons that had gone down this year, we lost 2 major ones, 2 weekends back to back. And then, of course, everybody panicked. Well, with due reason, but everybody locked down and weren't doing anything. And we went ahead and played our session over at our friend Barry's house with basically the same crew that was going to be at the Grand Con.
Yeah.
And we smoked some ribs and had some drinks. And I hadn't drank in about 3 months. I got drunk as shit.
Well, you kept being like, all right, chilled vodka shot. Like every time you guys would make an achievement, you're like, chilled vodka shot.
Yeah,
Like, oh my
I
God.
probably had 5 or 6 shots of vodka and then whatever I was drinking on top of
So,
that.
like as we're
Are
doing,
you are you rescheduling your PlanetCon deal, Benito?
I don't know. I haven't made that determination yet. I know they reset it up, and I'm waiting to hear from Dave. I can't remember his last name, the organizer, to see what the plans are and see who's dropped out and see what time slots might still be available, or maybe we get a better one than the one we had. I don't know. So I don't know for sure. But anyway, to get back to that, everybody was healthy, and we felt like it was okay if there was 6 of us and we're in a house. And I don't know if that was the right decision or not, but man, we just had to get out and do something. It was huge just to lift our spirits, to sit around a table and laugh and be social. And like, we're social creatures.
Oh,
God, we just laughed and had the best time. It was good.
It was great for me as a DM. I was so nervous because I hadn't DM'd since like December. So I was like, oh God, did I do enough work? Is it the right kind of thing? And I think we could have done whatever and we still would have had fun.
Yeah, we could have played Parcheesi or something. But
yeah, right. But I had a lot of fun with them. And you guys, I think, like, when you see someone you haven't seen for a while play D&D, they make all these big decisions because they're like, fuck it. Like, I haven't played for like 6 months. I'm going to do a double backflip. And
that kitty needs a diet, dude.
Well, we did have a good time.
On a diet.
We did break the rules.
It's a big headache.
A diet of cuddles.
Yes.
This is Pixel. He is one of our assholes here.
Pixel. 8 bits of love.
Oh, that's a 16-bit cat.
That is a 16-bit cat right there.
At least.
Yeah. Bugger.
But other than that, we just been home watching movies.
Yeah, man.
Doing some writing. It's really funny how you put to the side the things that you enjoy doing, your creative side, because you get so busy in life, and then when things slow down, it's like, oh, I forgot how much I enjoyed doing this or that.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the world is getting creative again.
Yeah, I've been advocating this whole time. Like, learn a skill. You got all this downtime, learn a skill. Like,
I know my next goal. I want to learn to play the mandolin.
You're gonna what?
I want to learn to play the mandolin.
The Mandalorian.
No, the mandolin, like the guitar.
Mandolin, I loved that show.
Yeah, I love the mandolin.
Like a fiddle.
I want to be able to like ask a girl out by playing "Toss a Coin to Your Witcher" or something, but change the lyrics to like something with me and going on dates.
How nerd is this?
If I don't get a date after that,
here he is.
Well, I'm using my time to remake my own website.
Nice.
Wordkeeper Alpha. It's a writing motivation website where you log your words and it builds a graph out of your overall progress over time.
Huh.
So I'm remaking that, the 3rd version of the site.
Hell yeah. How's that going? Is it taking you a while, or are you just zipping through it? Or
it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
The 2nd version of the site I built over 5 years of new features and new things, and I finally hit the point where I'm like, I need to remake this or else I won't be able to upgrade it anymore.
Yeah, no. I feel that way with our site. I'm like, I have to constantly be adding something, or I feel like I'm not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Running up the tab, guys, how are you guys coping with all of this? How are you staying sane?
It's tough, man. Working from home for the most part, majority of the day, but playing a lot of piano, man. Drinking a lot of coffee as well. About a lot of coffee a day, dude. I'm fucking like downing coffee. But
yeah.
No, trying to do as much as I can, on the creative end of things, like learning. I'm away from my drum set currently, so trying to expand my skills in piano, learning new songs on that, and then honestly, though, work's like 9 hours of my day, so primarily majority of that. Some gaming on the side, but yeah.
Oh, I feel that. I've been trying to get back into gaming, but it's like so hard because now everyone's on, so it's like 10 times more than it usually is.
Yeah.
I'm just getting capped by people.
Now, every 12-year-old is on at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. My buddies have to jump offline because of the time difference in like Germany and Japan. We know when they get on.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, this is why we're failing, because we just got on the very beginning of like Japan time. We need to get off for 4 hours or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the keys to keeping me and my wife sane is getting out of the house every now and again. Taking a car ride, that's okay. Getting takeout food, that's also fine. We visited the game shop or the geek room earlier on in this week and got some mini painting supplies and some new minis to paint.
Nice. That'll be a good time to spend. Louis, what about you? What have you been doing?
Going to work, man.
So working good.
I'm a butcher, so it's a pretty fucking essential job, I suppose. People are attacking the meat counters, so
sure.
work 8 hours a day, except for Sunday and Monday. So, and then whatever I can get done around the house. We're doing a lot of projects around the house right now, so been pretty busy with that. And then whatever downtime I have, we've just been kind of doing some gaming, catching up on shows that we've been trying to watch forever, and movies and stuff like that. Like I just caught up on that Tiger King that everybody's been raving about. That shit's wild.
Yo, has everyone seen Altered Carbon here?
Yes. I just got recommended that last night. That's crazy.
Yeah. So watch Altered Carbon. It's got 2 seasons out. It's a really, really cool cyberpunk, futuristic, dystopian kind of detective thing. Oh. But they just released an anime that Benito sent me like 20 screenshots of this morning and was like, check it out. And I just watched it, and it's a continuation of the story. But, dude, all that stuff is amazing. Check it out.
Is the animated Altered Carbon good?
Oh, yeah. I was afraid of it because I'm not really a huge anime. Like, I'm very specific on the style of anime I like. And it's almost more like, Benito, wouldn't you agree? It's kind of like that semi-cartoony Grand Theft Auto realism.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd call it anime so much as just, it's animated, but it sort of reminded me of, what was that movie that had come out where they had taken the real actors and then they, over the top of it.
Darkly?
Yeah. That's kind of what it reminded me of that too. And then sort of super clean, like just video game animation. You're in between story when you're not playing. Kind of had that feel too. But yeah, it was good. Nice and violent, and I really enjoyed it.
I smashed like the entire 3rd season of Castlevania in one day.
Oh yeah.
That show is amazing.
I haven't seen the 3rd season yet, but I do love Castlevania.
Mm-hmm. Is that an animated feature?
Yeah.
I think that's based out of Texas, actually, isn't it? The studio and the animators, I think, are in Texas, of all places.
That would make sense because
there's a lot down there.
So my big problem over like the last decade with anime is that they've gotten more and more into CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't inherently a bad thing. It's just that the style, they've just been like dumping CGI onto these. Like there's a great comparison video of there's like a new Macross, that anime where like the jets transformed into robots and they fought aliens. There's a side-by-side of the old one from like the 70s and 80s and then the new remake. And the new remake, looks like super flashy and stuff like that, but you can tell that there's just not as much like attention to detail and quality illustration and stuff. And I get it. It's way cheaper to use the CGI, but
I think as long as you're still paying that attention to detail and doing the work, it shouldn't be an issue. Like you look at things like Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah.
There was intricate
that was a great show.
Yeah.
Are they doing a season 2?
Really well.
I want more Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah,
season
2 is coming.
Season 2, yeah.
Probably going to be this summer, honestly. I'm excited for it. I keep rewatching my favorite episodes, so I think they did something really cool with taking the cyberpunk aesthetic and stretching it out to all of its different identities, I guess. Like they had a steampunk kind of episode with the Great Hunt, if you guys saw that one, Good Hunting. Where he would turn people into these like mechana kind of bots and stuff, and they had like futuristic stuff and Borderlands type stuff, space stuff, monster fighting. Like it had everything.
My favorite episode was the farmers who had the mechs
and their mech
fighting against the aliens. Man, I want a video game of that so bad.
You know what that reminded me of? It made me think of the monsters from A Quiet Place.
Okay.
Like really much. They looked and acted a lot like them. I was like, what if they're on like the planet where those come from, trying to colonize? Like that's the story.
I did get to watch The Hunt yesterday, so I highly recommend everybody check that out.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah, what's that on?
I got it.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, is it out? Okay, cool.
And what's it about?
basically it was what was it Ice-T or not Ice-T? God, what was the movie anyway? Rich people hunt people is the premise. I don't want to ruin too much, but
I'm talking about The Hunt. I was thinking The Hunters.
Yeah, he's talking the Nazi one on Amazon Prime where they hunt Nazis.
Yeah,
you're talking about
Nazis.
Robert De Niro.
You're talking about rich people hunting people, right?
Al Pacino, yeah.
Yeah,
that's really good too. But yeah, I definitely suggest The Hunt if you want to something to lift your spirits and something funny to laugh at.
I was gonna say lift your spirits. It doesn't, from what I've heard about it, it doesn't seem like a comedy. Is it a comedy?
It is. It's not. I mean, it's not put out like a goofy comedy, but yeah, it's got its funny moment, and the actors did a great job, and the effects are great, and their lead, she's just hilarious. The chick from Glow on Netflix, the All-American with all the big blonde hair. She's the lead, but it's really, really good. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. When in doubt, I always turn to my good old trusty pal, Nick Cage.
Have you seen The Color Out of Space?
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah, we watched that the other week. It was really good.
It's really good. It's fun. It's fun Nick Cage, like not completely over the top, but just that perfect Cage that you love.
So are you familiar? I assume you're familiar with H.P. Lovecraft?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, The Color Out of Space is one of his stories, and Nick Cage just came out with they just came out with a movie starring Nick Cage, and they kind of modernized it a little bit, and it's got Cheech in it as well.
No, is it
was
Cheech?
A good movie, though.
No, it's the other one. It's not Cheech, it's the other one.
Oh, it's Chong?
Tommy Chong.
Oh.
Tommy Chong.
I wish I'd have seen it in the theater. I watched it on TV, and it was beautiful and amazing, and I thought, God, if I'd have seen this in the theater, it would have just been the trippiest thing I've ever seen. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll totally check that out. That sounds awesome.
They did a really good job.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
Is it on DVD or anything yet? Or
it's on iTunes, various streamring places.
I think it's got to be out right now.
Is anybody watching Star Trek Picard?
Yeah. I haven't seen the last episode, but other than that.
Did you say The Mandalorian?
Oh, yeah.
The Mandalorian Picard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last episode is great. You'll love it.
The Picardalorian.
Picardalorian. He takes off his helmet and it's Picard.
Mm-hmm.
Are we all putting on goofy helmets if anybody's got them?
I don't know if I have a goofy helmet.
Let
me
see what
I got a goofy hat, but I have to go all the way upstairs to get it.
Run. We'll be here.
But I'm lazy. Okay.
What are you wearing? Is that your Nicolas Cage the bees helmet?
It's my Zardoz helmet.
Oh, okay.
The less said about that.
Oh, yeah. Ha. That's why that looked familiar.
Well, I'm not quite done. I got to get the face done.
Yeah, I see it, though. The moment it's Zardoz.
Oh, cool.
Benito, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love that thing. He made that himself. That thing's badass.
Wow.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I have a Venom mask, but I'm not going to put it on.
Why not?
Fine, Bill.
Come on, Mikey.
Peer pressure.
Let's get Mikey. He'll do it.
That's what everyone says.
God, we're so nerdy.
Charles, you got to have a helmet of some sort.
I've got
a hard hat, something.
A box-shaped helmet.
Yeah, I've got my
that's all. Yeah.
These running up the tab guys are looking at us like we're screwballs.
All right.
No helmets for us.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's dope.
That is awesome. I can't wait to see what Seth comes back with. Is it that hard to get off, Mikey?
The symbiote got me. Yeah. It's like incredibly hard to get off.
That's Louis, Josh, you guys got helmets? Masks?
I don't, unfortunately. Maybe
man.
I should have got some.
What about all that shit you used to have when you were younger, Josh? When we were younger.
Oh, that's gone, man. That's been gone for like 6 years, but I don't even know where it is. Gave it all away, I'm pretty sure. You still have that mask, dude? You still got that mask. Batman mask or whatever.
Benito's
look at
got a
that.
whole fucking fashion shoot going on over here.
Benito, that's awesome.
This is when I had to play a killer in a movie.
Wow.
Now do your best impression of Shakira.
Shakira.
Yeah. I didn't mean.
Oh, Seth. All right. There he is.
Oh, hey,
Perfect.
classy. I like that. Everyone looks
Charles, yes.
Yeah, this was from
Oh, that's from Groundhog Prom.
Groundhog Prom, where I went as Space Force.
That's awesome. I love it. Oh shit, that's the
I
best.
guess say what you will, but space would probably be okay right about now.
Yeah.
Mikey, we need to do a puppet show.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got this at Crypticon last year. I went with Benito and some friends, and it's from that Ash versus the Evil Dead show.
Oh, sweet.
And like he gets possessed, his puppet gets possessed by like the Necronomicon and starts trying to bite his head off. I got really drunk the whole weekend and walked around with this thing on, and I was like, ha 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 ha, and like there was a point where I fake passed out in the elevator, and I just had it like this, but it looked like I was sleeping and it was talking to people. I took it way too far, man. Like
I have this one too that we sculpted and cast for another movie where a crazy
There's
person.
Dorian Kettletoft's appearance with his.
Is that from the Eyes of Isabel?
Yeah, it's from the eyes. This is the third mask. Throughout the movie, it started out perfect, and then by the end of the movie, she was sort of beat up.
Terrifying, dude. That thing's freaky looking.
So was that a mask, Benito, that you found and ordered, or you made that from scratch?
Oh no, we sculpted this from scratch and ran it and cast it and ran it, and we went through 5 before they finally this different types of masks. This is the one they.
You're kind of breaking up there, Benito, pretty bad. There you go. Now you're back.
Oh. Eyes of Isabel. I think it's on.
It's on Amazon.
I think it's on Amazon Prime right now.
Oh.
Hell yeah. He's got a lot of movies out. What is it, Dead Lantern?
Yeah, Dead Lantern's got a bunch of them out from there.
Hell yeah. One day I will get killed by these people.
So, John, you should tell him about your Dorian Kettletoft character. He's a steampunk character, right?
Oh, so that's who it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Dude,
I thought it was just like you had 2 personalities and we
Oh,
didn't
geez,
have
Oh, he's got way more than 2.
It's just the only one we know.
Right. Right.
We completely flew off the coronavirus.
We did.
Now we're talking about
This is how you're surviving
Dorian.
Well, this is probably much more entertaining for anybody tuning in.
I know. This is the content that people come to us for.
Yes.
We were doom and gloom all we could take.
Yeah.
I was in the old market today. I got up about, I don't know, I headed down there about 8:30. I was going to take my drone down there and just do some drone footage of just it being desolate. Thought it might be kind of an interesting shot with that. And
cool.
I got down there and it was just literally maybe 9:30 I got there. It was just a ghost town. Nobody. Yeah. And I know it's Sunday, but normally there's somebody there.
Well,
yeah.
So crazy. One car down there.
There's Dorian.
But if you're in the old market and you want some beer, Brickway Brewery is doing 20% off anything that you buy and take out of the store.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think they just turned into a liquor store at this point.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I have the solution to the COVID, guys.
That
bring us back in time, so then we'll just stop that guy from eating the bat, and everyone can have their jobs back, right?
What is that?
It's a time stone. The Eye of Agamotto. If I use it correctly, apparently, I can fix this.
Okay. You got one shot.
All right. Come on. Fuck, I dropped it. No, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
hopefully you're better at changing the past than the Flash is.
I'm not. Ask all my exes. Zing!
Wow.
A little self-degradation is good for the network.
All right, as long as we're being dorks.
Yes.
Well,
here we go. Everybody's bringing out their stuff.
Do you ever stop being a dork, Bill?
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
Now, the funny thing is, Hang on.
Wait, God, you got two of them.
The first thing you have to know about me is that if you get one, always get two. Hello. Hello. Usually they'll. If you can get one started, they'll just keep each other going.
Oh my God.
So, our next episode is going to be Bill's adventures in capitalism at Galaxy's Edge at Disney, where we just have an entire episode of everything Bill bought.
That sounds like a joke, but that's actually our next episode.
I love that.
Like 18 droids and
that might be overstating a bit.
Little bit.
16, come on.
But I mean, you have to watch just to see the pure ridiculousness of Bill's. I don't know how Linda lets him get away with it, but
well, she didn't let me get away with the R2D2 popcorn bowl.
I'm gonna need this T-shirt.
I love that.
All right.
80s as hell.
I know that.
I'm ordering it right now.
There's a chance I may never get to go see Galaxy's Edge, but I can tell you this: when society collapses, I will be taking that Fury Road down to the Millennium Falcon, and I don't care how many souls I have to pass onto the next world. It's going to be my fortress home.
All right. Well, if you take the Florida one, I'll take the California one.
Well, if our viewers are interested, right now Amazon is selling the Dungeons and Dragons Essential Kit and the Dungeons and Dragons Starter Kits for a really good price. $13 for the starter set and $16 for the Essentials Kit.
Nice.
How likely do we think, speaking of like starting things up at home, how likely do we think people are going to start brewing and distilling their own alcohol?
Or hand sanitizer?
I'm surprised we aren't doing that already.
Right. Yeah. For how many people are already doing it?
Yeah.
Indefinitely.
Ooh.
I don't know that anyone's going to the Magic Kingdom anytime soon.
All right.
Let's break in.
Lock and load, boys. Gas up. Let's burn it down.
Next episode, Synergy.
I mean, I don't know if you want to fight the Disney army on this. Like, they've probably got that place locked down better than the White House.
Well, I think like the daughter of the owner saw people gathering and was literally like swore at them and was like, "You're all fucking ridiculous." And then like,
goddamn addicts.
Huh? One of the Disney daughters. Like,
yeah, but it's like there's a lot of people that saved up for years, planned this vacation a long, long time ago, and this might literally be their only chance to ever go. And now they don't get to. So
that sucks.
I mean,
anyone who's been to Disneyland realizes there's a lot of people. It's crowded. It's great for kids.
Yeah.
And people like Bill, special people.
Look at that headline at the bottom right there. Woman charged after coughing on $35,000 worth of produce. Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Do you want me to click on that?
Yes.
I heard about this. That's a legit story.
Oh dear God.
Pennsylvania.
I think we just
biological agents and criminal mischief.
This is why we're all gonna die.
I think we just found our new show.
We're all gonna die?
No, we click on news stories and
then discuss them.
And discuss them.
I pretty much think that show should be called "We're All Gonna Die," or
I see where Benito's going. We got a new show called COVID Hunters, and it's like we run around looking for people spreading the disease.
Yeah,
COVID Hunters.
Yeah,
and then we could all be like doing research and stuff on the back end, but like while we're talking.
And then when we find them, we like hit them with wiffle bats until.
And instead of being like secret agents, we could all be like viral agents.
Huh. Scroll down. What happened with this story? Did she purposely was coughing on?
Here, play the video.
You won't get sound in the.
Oh no, that's crazy.
$35,000 worth of produce.
There is a setting that you can set so that it will use your computer audio.
Huh.
Oh,
that's interesting story.
We haven't tried it yet.
Attempt to commit retail theft and disorderly conduct.
Oh yes, 100% felt entitled. She probably they probably didn't have her whatever.
She intentionally coughed and spat on the merchandise.
Oh my god, dude, that's sick,
Who
man.
the F does that? Well,
I know
that.
Probably
who bought a lot of produce. I hope
she was upset and was like, "Fuck it."
She then tried to steal a 12-pack of beer.
She tried to steal a 12-pack of beer from the store before being ordered to leave. Her bail said $50,000.
Was it worth it?
I can't see how that would be.
Exactly, that's horrible. I saw there's a video of a guy in like a New York subway who took his mask off and started like licking shit. I was like, dude.
There's a guy in Germany that did that.
Yeah, that's.
Or maybe
if you lick someone, it's like assault, and then I forgot the actual what they're defining it as. But then if you can also get like terroristic threats.
Yeah, it's a terroristic thing too. I saw.
That's insane.
Oh, I don't know if you want to search that.
What are you searching? Guy likes toilet? Don't do that.
Oh no.
That guy caught it. That guy's in the hospital.
Oh, he licks and he got the coronavirus? That's horrible.
The guy or gal?
It was a guy. I don't know. I'd seen the girl one too. I don't know what happened to her.
People are nuts. People are weird.
Well, look at all the stupid challenges we've had in the last 5 years, which has proven how stupid people are. Yeah. I'm gonna eat all the nutmeg I can and then hope I don't die. And they're like, sure, go for it. Let's call it a challenge. Like,
everyone do it with me.
Snort nutmeg till you pass out. Woo!
Funny.
Yeah, evolution at work.
Yeah, it is. It's Darwinism, man. Everything's Darwinism. Weeding out the weak.
It is for sure.
Crazy.
All right. Well, I hate to bail on you guys, but I actually have things I've got to do. So I wish everybody well. I'm going to sign off for Go RPGs.
Okay.
Make sure you're checking out Synergy Nation Network. We got live shows on there all the time. We also have a Facebook page that's a group and a page. And man, we're just having a blast over here with the Go RPGs. We're going to start picking some things up here pretty soon. The shock of everything that's going on sort of put me in a funk for a while, but we're starting to ramp things back up and getting creative. So if I didn't have things to do, I'd stay longer, guys. But
no worries.
My car's in my driveway in pieces. So
yeah, we're coming up on an hour and 45 minutes into the session, so probably about time to end it.
Yeah. Right. Well, don't do it on my count. I didn't mean to scare everybody off.
No, that's okay.
Got things I got to do.
Yep. No, all right. Well, thanks for joining. We'll catch you later, Benito.
Okay, you guys. Everybody be safe.
Yep. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks everyone who did tune in to the live first episode of our Supercast meetups.
Yay!
Thank you all for stomaching our weirdness. We'll bring it back next time, we promise. As always, I've been Mikey Colsheen for the Weekly Geekly.
Okay, I'm Bill Newman for Galactic Driftwood Podcast.
Also, Seth Swanson for Galactic Driftwood.
John Powers for Galactic Driftwood.
Charles for Galactic Driftwood.
Josh for running up the tab.
Oh, you got to do it again.
Oh, no.
You didn't come in, Louie.
Did it. Drop the ball.
One more time.
Josh for running up the tab. There we go. Hopefully that's clear.
Louie, who are you?
The tab. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, it came in. Yeah, for some reason it didn't work last time. And finally,
I'm Zach Cook.
And we are all Synergy Nation Network. So thank you one and all, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Catch you later. Stay safe.
You
Stay
too,
inside.
guys.
Wash your hands.